snack. Me and you gonna have a little chat about books.
Hi guys, so I'm here today to do my wrap up for the month of June. I am going to be splitting it into two parts. I'm going to have the novels that I read in this part, and then I'm going to have all the graphic and illustrated works that I read in another part, so look out for that. It will be coming very soon. So let's get started. I'm going to try and be quick because there's a lot to go through, but I will be doing full reviews of all of these as always, so you'll see them coming up on my channel fairly soon. And if there's anything you want to know a bit more about, or anything you've read and you have stuff to tell me about, leave that in the comments below. Let's get started. I'm going to go from the lowest rating to highest rating and tell you a tiny bit about my favourites, but otherwise I'm just going to be quick. So let's get started. The first two books I read, I actually audiobooked, and I wanted to just complete the series. This is The Heir by Kiera Cass, which was okay. I gave it a 2.5. It wasn't my favourite book, but it was okay. The next one was The Crown, also by Kiera Cass, and I gave this also a 2.5 out of 5 stars. The next one I read was for the Sassy Reads read-along, and this was The Great God Pan by Arthur Machen. I gave this one a 3 out of 5 stars. It was alright, it was likeable at times, and it was quite a fun read-along, a little bit of innuendo going on, so that was quite fun. The next one I listened to and read on my Kindle, and that was The Straits of Galahesh, which is by Bradley Bolio. This is the second one in the Lays of Anuskaya series, and I gave this a 3.5 out of 5 stars. It's a complicated series, so it's hard to wrap your head around sometimes. The next one I read was sent to me very kindly by a self-published author, and this is They Mostly Come Out at Night, and it's by Benedict Patrick. This one I gave a 3.5 out of 5 stars as well. The cover is beautiful, the story was very intriguing, and I have done a full review of this one, so I'll link that and you can go check that out. The next one was also sent to me by a publisher, and this is called Dreams of Distant Shores. It is a short story collection, and I've done a review of all the short story collections I'm going to tell you about, so I'll link that. And this one I gave a 3.5 as well. I like the stories a lot, and it's by Patricia A. McKillop. The next one I read was a physical book, and this is called The Expeditions to the Mountain of the Moon, and it's by Mark Hodder. It's the third one in the Burton and Swinburne series. I gave this one a 3.5. It's a wacky science fiction crossed with steampunk story, and it's very funny. Lots of great humour in this, so I really enjoyed this series. The next one I actually listened to on audio, and this is The Emperor's Blades by Brian Staveley. It was my first attempt at reading his work, and I definitely enjoyed it, although I felt it suffered slightly from first book syndrome. I gave this a 3.5 out of 5 stars, and I will continue the series for sure. The next one I read was a buddy read. This is called Half of a Yellow Sun. I read this with Amanda from Amanda J, whose channel I will link. This is written by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. It's all about Nigeria and the Biafran War that was there. Really interesting, very beautiful book, and I will have a review coming soon for this. I gave this one a 4 out of 5 stars overall. The next two that I read were both in the same series, and that is the Soldier Sun series by Robin Hobb. The first one is called Shaman's Crossing, and this is a standalone series. It's not part of the Realm of the Eldlings books, but it is written by Robin Hobb still. It's a fascinating series. I absolutely fell in love with the characters in this one. I just think it was fabulous. I don't know why more people haven't read it. The ratings on Goodreads I think are really misleading because it hasn't got high ratings, but I loved this and I gave this a 4 out of 5 stars. And then I quickly went on to the next one in the series, which is this one, Forest Mage, and again I really enjoyed this one as well, and I gave this a 4 out of 5 stars. I would say if you are a fan of Robin Hobb's work, you could definitely love these series. They are both really great and I really enjoyed them, and I will be continuing on with book number 3 in the series very soon, and I'll probably do a whole series review because there's only 3 in the series, so once I finish book 3 I'll review all of them together and let you guys know why I think you should read them, but definitely think of checking them out because they are just fabulous and I love them both. The next one I have is by M. Sedaine, and this is called Theatre of the Gods. I really enjoyed reading this. It was the pick I chose from my Triad chapter tag, and it was just marvellous, bizarre, crazy, wonderful, all at once. I really loved this and gave it a 4 out of 5 stars, and I will certainly be checking out more of his work very soon. The next one I read was The Voyage of the Basilisk, which is the third one in the Lady Trent series by Marie Brennan. I really enjoyed this series. It is utterly fantastic, and I will be doing a full series review of the first 4 in this series very soon because I whizzed through them and adored them. Gave this one a 4 out of 5 stars. It was marvellous. The next one I read was part of the short stories that I read, and this is Jagannath by Karin Tidbeck. It's a Swedish author who writes in both Swedish and English, so some of them are translated and some of them are just written in English. She's fantastic, very weird. I would class this kind of as bizarro fiction. It was wonderful. I read it with Yamini and Mercedes and we had a great time discussing it because there are so many weird, twisted, awesome things that go on, and I gave that a 4 out of 5 stars as well. Another one that I was sent to review is The Arrival of Missives by Aaliyah Whiteley. This one was sent to me by Unsung Stories and I gave this a 4 out of 5 stars. It's a super short novella, very odd in places but very beautiful in places, and I really enjoyed reading this one, and I'm hoping that I'll pick up some more of her work in the future because it was really interesting. The next one that I read is The Age of Myth by Michael J. Sullivan. This one just recently came out on the 28th, I believe, so I was so happy to have read this. I read it just before it came out and I really enjoyed it. It was fabulous, and I want to thank Thomas for sending this all the way from America to me because you are marvellous, and I really enjoyed this book. It's setting up for what could be a really awesome series. I loved this and I gave this one a 4.5 out of 5 stars. Just fantastic. I can always rely on Michael J. Sullivan to make an excellent book. He's just fabulous. The next one I read was the 4th one in the Lady Trent series, and this is called In the Labyrinth of Drakes. I actually gave this a 5 out of 5 stars. It was so good. It's the final one that's out at the moment, although I do believe there's another one coming out next year. I just adore it and I'm really missing having this series in my life. I just whizzed through the books and found them all exceptionally wonderful and heartwarming and like super cute and fuzzy, but also talking about some really interesting subjects, and I just think Mary Brennan has an excellent way of writing, so I will certainly be buying anything else she brings out in the future. I have her other series that I'm going to start, but this series was fabulous and I gave this a 5 out of 5 stars. The next one I read and gave 5 out of 5 stars to is this one. It is an ARC copy of A Closed and Common Orbit, which is by Becky Chambers. This was sent to me a few days ago by Hodescape and I read it in a day and I adored it, and it was fabulous and it was everything I wanted and more, and it was beautiful and it was heart-wrenching and just emotional and lovely and so chirpy and beautiful. It was just everything. It was just everything, and I loved it so much, and I will be doing a full review of this very soon. I gave this 5 out of 5 stars. No surprises there. So that was a quick run through of everything from the novels that I read in June, so novels and novellas. I had a great reading month overall. I think I really did read quite a lot of books, and I'm really happy that I read quite a lot of books, and I'm really happy that some of them were ARC copies and review copies, and some of them were physical books from my shelves. Now that I'm back home again, I have a chance to read a lot more physical books, and I've been really enjoying doing that, so you can probably tell that that will happen in the next few months as well. And definitely look out for part 2 in this, where I will be talking about all of the graphic and illustrated works that I read. I read so many good ones this month, guys. Some beautifully fantastic illustrated works, so definitely go and check that video out when it goes up. Thank you all for watching. Leave me all your comments down below, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!
Thank you for watching my video today. Go pick up a book, then come back and chat with me again.